So here I am at the Taylorian and the Ashmolean. Right behind me is the Ashmolean Museum, which is the city museum, and it's free to the public, as are most city things in Oxford. And I thought I'd tell you a story that I heard yesterday from my friend Simon. So, Simon is from Australia. Australia, of course, is divided into states. He lived on the western side. Western Australia is actually what it's called. Yesterday we were sitting in his office comparing deserts, and we talked about the Australian desert and the Australian bush and how those were different than the Chihuahuan desert where I'm from. See the pictures. Anyway, Simon told me that at one point in his life, he and his wife decided to go to college, and they were living at the time about an hour away from Perth, and they had to travel all the way to Adelaide. This is about a distance of 2,000 miles, if I remember right, which is quite a long way to drive your car through extremely dry deserts and situations. So he decided that they would make the best of it. No, they would not. He decided that they would get their car and put it in a train and then ride the train across the desert. So apparently this train ride, though, wasn't just any ordinary train ride. It was a 3-day train ride. So he and his wife decide to look up tickets, and they find out that it's 3 times more expensive to get seats that lay down. They're both young, they're both about to be college students. They decide sitting up will be the way they'll go. What happens though, when they get in, he said the car starts to go, and they're sitting in their seats, and the train's moving, and they realize it's going pretty slow. Well, it must be because it's the city. No, it wasn't that at all. It went slow the entire time. It took them 3 days, and they never stopped. Apparently the only thing that one person that you could do during these train rides was take a shower. So Simon naturally took a shower every hour because he didn't want he wanted something to do. So the funny part, I guess, was that they decided to go to they were driving, no stops, just complete 3 hours sitting in a chair, day in, day out. And all alongside you, the only thing you see are deserts. There's no scenery, there's no nothing. And I told him it was like purgatory. He's like, no, it was like hell. And so then I guess at one point the train decided to stop. And they said, well, the train is going to stop for 40 minutes. You have a chance to get out and look around. We'll be going back in 40 minutes. So immediately when it stops, there's a long queue. Like, everyone wants to get out. And so Simon hops in the queue. And he wants to go. He wants to go outside and see it. And he gets to the door. And there's no like trains, there's no like station. So like they're just having to jump off the train and clamber back on. So he gets to the door and he looks out and realizes this town is nothing. There is nothing. It's like he said there wasn't even sand. It was just red rocks on the ground, just covered red rocks. And he looks over and he realizes that all the people who've just formed a queue to get out are making another queue to get back in. And yeah, so he said it was one of the most hellacious experiences of his life. I thought it was pretty funny.